morning students. Welcome back to the file handling class. In the previous class we had discussed in detail about what are text files and what are binary files. We know that certain operations can be performed with the help of data which is stored permanently on your hard disk, because it is not possible to again and again enter a lot of data and then execute that and to carry on the everyday task. So it is very important that we save the data somewhere and then we keep using that data every day on a regular basis. So for that purpose we made use of two types of files, that is text files and binary files. So text files and binary files, they save all our data and this data can be used for any further transactions or any further operations. Okay. Today we will learn how to create files, how to open files, how to close files and perform simple read operation from a text file. So students, first of all I will tell you that what do we need? What are our requirements for starting with file operations? The requirements will come from the tasks which we need to perform. What are the tasks we need to perform? First of all, our very first task is, one is read operation, write operation, and next is we have the append operation. Read operation, write operation and append operation. These are the three basic types of operations which are performed on a file, on a disk file, whether a text file or a binary file. So when we talk about read, write and append, we will see what is the necessary things, requirements for these three. Talking about read operation, what is a read operation? I will give you a small diagram over here. This is your Python program. We can say it is something like student.py. It's a small Python program. The program gets data from the keyboard. Read data from user console. First of all, the keyboard, with the help of the keyboard, the user can enter the data which is accepted by your Python program. This Python program makes use of RAM. It is itself also saved in the RAM. RAM contains both the Python program also, and along with this we create a temporary memory area, we can say it is a mystery area which is created within your RAM, which would actually be holding all the data from your file. So we are going to talk about this area in detail a little later. So I am skipping that for the time being. And from here it is connected to your hard disk. So data is read from the user's console, accepted by the program, goes into the RAM, all the changes take place here, and then the data is saved back onto your hard disk. Okay, so this is how what is done. We first perform the write operation here. This is known as the write operation because I am writing data to the hard disk. If something is sent to the hard disk, it is known as what? Write operation. So I am sending data to the hard disk, that means I am performing a write operation. Now next thing is I have to perform the read operation. I scripted it wrongly at that time. Now what is a read operation? Now whatever I had saved on the hard disk, I need to read that. I need to access that. So data is saved here. It will be taken and brought into RAM. In in that mystery area, and from that mystery area it will go back into your Python program. And from your Python program it will be sent to the monitor. So data is coming out of it, that is we are performing a read operation over here. This is a read operation where data is picked up from your hard disk, brought into RAM, into your Python program, and from there it is displayed or sent to your monitor. So this is what read operation. Write operation means sending data to the hard disk from your Python program, and read operation means reading data which was saved earlier in the hard disk and with the help of a Python program sending it to the display unit for getting displayed. So we have seen read operation and write operation. Now what is this append operation? Let us see what is append. To understand the append operation, it is very important to first understand what is write. Now, if your program has to be read, it is necessary that the file exists on your hard disk. Your file is not there, file doesn't exist, and you are trying to read something from it. Okay, I'll give you an analogy to this. You have a friend and you want to call your friend, right? So when you are calling your friend, it is important. Now you don't, considering the situation, both of you don't have any mobile phone, any smartphone, and you both are only able to communicate with each other using what? Your simple landline phone. So it is important that it is mandatory that in order to communicate with your friend should be present at home so that you both are able to talk to each other. So if you are trying to contact your friend is not there at home, how are you going to talk to that person? So here you are trying to read something, you are trying to perform a read operation, but there is nothing on the hard disk. Will you be able to perform the read operation? No. So for performing read operation, file has to be present on the hard disk. File should exist on the hard disk. Got it? For write operation, this condition is not mandatory. File may exist, file may not exist. In case the file doesn't exist, you are creating the very first file handling program and your file doesn't exist. So what will write do? It will first create the file. If file exists, it will start doing the write operation. But if the file doesn't exist, it will create the file and then it will write data to it. How to write data, that is also elaborated. It will first remove previous contents from your file. Or whatever, if the file already exists, it will remove everything from the file. And that removal of file content is known as truncate operation. Not deleting the file. File exists on your hard disk. What is being deleted? Only the content is deleted. So that is known as truncate operation. So file exists, remove the previous content from the file, that is truncate the file and write the new data. Or we can also say overwrite the data, the previous data. That is your write. So write does what? It will replace the previous data. But append, what is append? It does all the functions of write. Plus there is one more function. It will not replace. It will add on to the previous data. If your file already contains some previous data, so append function will add to that data. It will not remove the previous content of the write. Okay, write and append both work in the same way. Append function or append operation also checks whether the file is already present. If the file already exists, what append will do? It will directly go on adding on to the data. If it doesn't exist, append function will create the file. It will go on adding, it will first create the file and then it will add data to the file. Write also does the same thing. If the file doesn't exist, it creates the file, it performs the write operation, but it replaces all the previous content of the file. Now let's see each of them in detail. We will be first starting with the read operation. How to perform read operations on the file. So for read operation, I already said earlier that file should be present on the hard disk. So at a definite location on your system, say you can fix one drive, D drive, as the place where you can keep your files. Okay. So within the D drive or at any location where you have saved, for example in my computer, I have a location D drive. Within this I have a location my programs. And within my programs, I create another folder named files. I'll just show that to you diagrammatically. This is my D drive, which is my root, because it is a separate partition of my hard disk. It contains a folder named my programs. And there is a subfolder named files. All my programs are saved here, that is in my programs, and all the files are saved over here, that is all my text or binary files. Okay, so this is the structure which I am maintaining on my computer. So I suggest that you people also do the same, because it will help you to organize your programs and your disk files separately. Okay. So in one folder you will have all your programs and in one folder you will have all your files. Coming to the next part. Within the files folder, you have to first create a text file. With any name. As an example, I will give you the name. I have suppose created a text file named poem.txt, which contains some lines of poems. Okay, some lines which are given in this way. Suppose this is my text file and its name is poem.txt. So you can right click anywhere within the file, select the option new. From new you can select text file, paste or type your content there and save it as a text file. Okay, you don't need to provide the extension because Windows will automatically take your extension as .txt. So your program will be saved as poem.txt. This is our primary requirement before we actually start working on our program. So once this is done, we are going to move on to our next step, that is how to open a file. So we will first start with our program. Start coding. That is, now we will write our program code. So for program code, please watch very carefully what all things we need. The very first thing which you need is to open the file. its syntax is, we will use the open function for doing that. The syntax is file object equals open file name comma file mode. So you are going to create a file, okay, by using what? The open function. How to use the open function? I'll be naming any file object over here. For example, I write my file equals open name of my file. So because I had already saved my file somewhere, that is B drive. My programs files, and within this I am saving it as, I have saved it as om.txt, and I will close this, comma, I will give the file mode here. For read operation it is how. Now please make a note of this, we have a double slash everywhere. So because normally our path is in this form, my programs slash files and then coding.txt. So we already have the slash in between. This single slash, if you want to provide a single slash, what you can do is, you cannot provide a single slash directly here. For that purpose, you have to use a double slash to represent that. Okay. There are various alternatives to this which we will be covering slowly and gradually. So over here, right now you can see that it is just a double slash. In the next online class, I will tell you the various variants of this open command. Okay, so here we are. This is how we open a text file. In our next class, we will be studying about how to use other variants of opening or specifying paths over here, and how we can use the close function in order to close the file, and also the various file modes. So these all things we will be studying in our next online class. So with this we end today's class. Thank you.